There's a habit you do in private that quietly rewires your brain every day, and you don't even notice it. PMO, porn, masturbation, and orgasm is a topic many people are familiar with but rarely talk about openly. For some, it seems harmless or simply part of daily routine. Yet for many others, it slowly becomes a pattern that drains energy, motivation, and emotional clarity without them realizing it. In this video, we will explore what PMO truly is, how it affects the mind and body, why it becomes such a strong habit, and how understanding this cycle can help you regain focus, confidence, and mental strength. This is not about judgment. It is about awareness and the opportunity to create a healthier life. PMO is often misunderstood as a simple physical release, when in reality it is a psychological loop driven by stimulation, expectation, and reward. The digital world exaggerates this loop by offering endless visual stimuli that the brain interprets as excitement, even when the experience is artificial. Every time someone engages in PMO, the brain creates mental pathways that associate stress, boredom, or loneliness with the need for immediate gratification. Over time, these pathways become automatic responses, causing the behavior to feel natural even when it is excessive or damaging. What begins as an occasional escape can slowly develop into a conditioned reaction that shapes how a person handles emotions and daily challenges. The human brain is wired to respond to pleasure through dopamine, the neurotransmitter responsible for motivation and reward. PMO releases dopamine in large amounts, much higher than what the brain receives from ordinary activities, like studying, exercising, or interacting with other people. This unnatural surge of dopamine temporarily makes the brain feel rewarded, relaxed, or excited. However, when the brain is repeatedly exposed to such high levels of dopamine, it adapts by reducing its sensitivity. As a result, the same stimulus no longer feels as satisfying, and the brain begins to crave more intense or more frequent stimulation just to feel the same effect. This is how PMO becomes a cycle, not because the person is weak, but because the brain is reacting to overstimulation. PMO becomes difficult to control because it offers an instant escape from uncomfortable emotions. When someone feels stressed, lonely, anxious, or overwhelmed, PMO becomes an easy way to experience temporary relief. It requires no effort, no social interaction, and no emotional risk. This makes the mind rely on PMO as a coping mechanism, even when deep down it knows the habit is starting to take over. The repetition of this cycle strengthens the connection between emotional discomfort and the need for quick pleasure, turning PMO into an automated behavior. In many cases, people realize the habit is getting stronger only when they start losing daily energy, confidence, and the ability to stay focused. Excessive PMO can have a subtle yet powerful impact on mental and emotional well-being. Many people experience decreased motivation, mental fog, and difficulty concentrating without understanding why. PMO overstimulates the brain and makes normal tasks feel boring or unrewarding. This is why studying, working, or pursuing goals becomes harder. The brain is conditioned to seek intense stimuli instead of gradual effort. PMO can also contribute to feelings of guilt, shame, or dissatisfaction with oneself, especially when a person tries to stop but feels unable to control the habit. Over time, this emotional cycle creates stress, anxiety, and even social withdrawal. One of the most common consequences of PMO is a noticeable decline in daily energy and productivity. People who are trapped in the PMO cycle often find it harder to wake up refreshed, stay consistent with their goals, or maintain discipline in their routines. Their mind becomes easily distracted, and tasks that require focus suddenly feel overwhelming. This happens because the brain's dopamine levels are constantly being manipulated, leaving less motivation for activities that build long-term growth. Procrastination becomes more frequent, mood swings appear more often, and the overall sense of self-control gradually weakens. Many people describe this state as feeling mentally tired or unmotivated, even after resting. PMO can also influence how someone interacts with others. When the brain becomes accustomed to artificial stimulation, real human connection may feel less exciting or more difficult to navigate. People may withdraw from social situations, avoid eye contact, or feel anxious around others without understanding the cause. Relationships may become strained because PMO creates unrealistic expectations and reduces emotional sensitivity. Over time, this can lead to isolation, reduced confidence in social skills, and difficulty forming meaningful bonds with others. Quitting PMO is not easy because it involves both neurological and emotional elements. The brain craves the dopamine release, while the mind uses PMO as a quick solution to stress or negative emotions. This dual dependency makes the habit feel powerful, even when the person truly wants to stop. Many people struggle not because they lack discipline, but because their brain has become wired to expect instant reward as a response to discomfort. Understanding this is the first step toward breaking the cycle. Freedom from PMO begins with awareness and small changes rather than extreme decisions. Start by recognizing the emotions or situations that trigger the habit. When stress or loneliness arises, try replacing the urge with healthier activities that produce natural dopamine, such as exercise, reading, learning something new, or spending time with others. Creating structure in daily routines can also help the mind stay focused and less vulnerable to impulse. Keeping your environment clean and limiting access to triggering content also reduces the chances of relapse. Progress takes time, and slipping back into old habits does not mean failure. It simply means the brain is still healing. When someone begins reducing PMO, the changes often appear gradually but significantly. Mental clarity improves, focus becomes stronger, and natural motivation begins to return. Daily energy increases, mood becomes more stable, and social interactions feel easier and more enjoyable. Many people gain a renewed sense of confidence because they finally feel in control of their mind and emotions. These benefits are a reminder that the brain can heal when given time and consistency. PMO is a sensitive topic, but understanding it can transform your life. This video is not meant to judge anyone. Millions of people quietly struggle with this habit. What matters is the willingness to grow and the understanding that change is possible. You deserve clarity, confidence, and a healthier relationship with your own mind. Thank you for watching, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more life-changing educational content.